Hello, my name is Todd Summers. I'm the Director of Research and Development for SoftRut, and in this video I will be demonstrating the setup for a 5-system coverage over a county in the U.S. This will be a bounded tile study. I'll also go through heat map setups, TalkBack coverage, and composite studies, as well as composite TalkBack. So first off, we start with tab 7, which is open. We will create a new project. We'll call it example bounded study project. Click OK. Within this, we will add a coverage study. We'll call this one Castle Rock. Finish. So we'll start off with Castle Rock, demo Castle Rock, as the first site. I've created 4 other sites in and around the county that Castle Rock is situated in. And I will set up a single study for Castle Rock and then make copies of that to run them sequentially as bounded tile studies using the new run study batch mode. So for map layers, I'm going to add a Colorado County. Make it the active layer. I'll switch over to Dissect, which is the name of the county. You'll note here you see the county outlines, and as you move it, whatever you have is the active layer, and its field will show. In this case, it's Elbert County here, Douglas County, El Paso, Arapahoe. Under coverage area, I'm going to select boundary, so I want to do a bounded tile study. Prompted to select the boundary object from the Colorado County's layer, and then right-click to cancel. So I'm going to select Douglas. If I want to, I could also select Elbert, Arapahoe, any other counties, and it will run over the union of those counties. So any points that fall in any of those counties will be run in the study. So I want to run over a single county, so I'll remove these. Click again on the boundary to release the map mode. I can go back to panning the map. And for a grid step, I'm just going to leave it at 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. Save it. Right click on Castle Rock. Click duplicate. I'll make a copy of it. This one will be North East Douglas. Okay. For Northeast Douglas, I'm going to select Northeast Douglas. Same setup as Castle Rock, but a different location up here, this corner. Save it. You'll notice I have all the same parameters, the same bounded tile set up here. I'm going to have the same mobile facilities on this side. Demo handheld severe battery losses. If I go under here, click duplicate again. We'll make this Southeast Douglas. Okay. I select Southeast Douglas from the list here. Now that's my fixed facility. Mobile facility is the same. We'll click Save. Right click. Duplicate again. This time we'll make it Northwest. Okay. We'll select Northwest Douglas. Save. Copy again. And finally, make Southwest Douglas. Okay. We'll select Southwest Douglas. So now I've created 5 studies over the same exact area and the same mobile facility for each, and fixed facility is the only thing that's changed between them. So currently, you'll see run study batch is not active. Will be the next one at this point. So we'll click open. We'll reopen the study. Go back to coverage. Click run study batch. Click here to run select all, and then run it. If you have study server currently open off to the side, it'll automatically send to that. You'll see it's running here. All these are 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. In practice, you'll probably run these at 100 meter by 100 meter resolution or better to get finer resolution. In this case, we'll run it pretty coarsely so that we can see the result this way. One study's done, and as the study's finished, they'll load up in Tap Mapper. 2 studies done. Studies are completing here. And we're all done. So for a single one of these studies, there's a number of things we can do once we've loaded up in TAP. As you see, it shows up green above threshold, red below threshold. The initial threshold is your DBU required field for the mobile facility. If I want to go in and change this, I can go in here. If I want to do a heat map, for example, I can go under Style. If I want to do one based off of DBM, I can switch to Power DBM. And I can do a low value, say of minus 110 to minus 85, for instance, with a step size of 5. Click autofill, and now I've got these multiple levels. Let's make this minus 90. Fill. Just make it a little easier on me. Then you set the colors to be, in this case, I've got a red, which is fine here. Orange, yellow, green, blue, and this one purple, or else you could even do a transparent with that level. And here are the labels. You can go through and you can actually set these by hand if you want to. Once you have it set the way you want, you can save this and then use it again later. So I will save it. We'll call it DBM heat map. Save it as a layer. And it goes to your Tap Shared Layer Star Templates folder. Save it as that. Click OK to apply, and now you've got a heat map. I go back in, I can put my transmit set in there so I can see where it is. It's going to be down in the corner, I believe. Southwest, yeah. Down here. Of course, it's red on top of red, so you probably don't see it. There's our site right there. You can see it falls within the county boundaries for Douglas. So that's the way you can do a heat map fairly simply. Now if I go to any of my other maps, let's go back to the original Castle Rock one. I can now click here, click load, and select that heat map I just created, open, click OK. Oh, I gotta switch the I did not switch for style. I need to select Power DBM. Okay, and there's my heat map for the Castle Rock site. This is pretty pixelated because we ran it at pretty low resolution, so it could run fast. So now you can apply this heat map over and over again whenever you have studied results that come out off the same set of parameters. Now if I go to a different one on my map, and let's say I want to view, in this case, if I just want to view a single indoor-outdoor set of results, I can go to my style, and if I have my dB level at 35.581, that's a severe handheld, but I also want to have 20 dB of penetration loss. I can just click add. I can add a level at, say, 55.51. This can be my indoor. This could be my outdoor. Okay, now I've got indoor-outdoor coverage for this particular site, which is up in the corner here. You'll see he's got good coverage here up the face of the mountains over in the far end of the county. Do a separate one. Now what if I'm interested in TalkBack? and go to the TalkBack tab. In TalkBack, click here and you can see the TalkBack level can be shown on the talkout coverage for results as location in the field of 35.58 dBu plus 0.66 dB equals 36.25 dB or higher. So if I want to do that, I can use that value. In the case where I've got indoor, I want to consider about a site that's going to be indoor, so it's another 20 dB of loss. My effective ERP is going to be reduced by 20 dB, so I can add a second one. We'll call it indoor. We'll make the power 20 dB lower in this case. You can either create a separate TalkBack shapefile, clicking here, which will be loaded, or you can go back to your style section. You can click on Add TalkBack Thresholds, which will add the two thresholds that you were considering. So these are your TalkBack indoor, TalkBack outdoor, TalkBack outdoor, TalkBack indoor values. Make this one transparent. Make this one the green, yellow, red. Click OK. So now if I choose to look at the original one, here's my green is where I have TalkBack to my indoor site. Yellow is my TalkBack outdoor. Red is my talk out, where I have talk out but don't have talk back. And then the clear area is not covered. So it's different ways of visualizing this. Alternatively, you can click here, and this one is the TalkBack file is created. So this is no TalkBack service. You see your yellow area. This pink fuchsia is the TalkBack outdoor, and blue is the indoor. These overlap. These are the same areas covered by here. It's just two different ways of getting there. One plots on the talkout coverage. One plots as its own TalkBack coverage. So there's that. So let's do composite next. I'm going to close all of these. We'll open Mapper from scratch. Here in Mapper, we're going to open. We're going to go to Tap Projects, this example bounded study project. We'll select the project itself, and it's going to load all 5 studies that I'll show here. If I go to Utilities, Aggregate Coverage, there's different ways of doing aggregate coverage. Tile from study will run over the same exact set of points which we ran over previously. General tile will do a general tile over the bound that you define, just like basically a square bound. And points per study will be something you use for radial studies or target studies where you have point shapefiles. So for what we're doing, we're going to do tile from shapefile. I'm going to select Castle Rock as the one I'm going to run over. It pulls in the bounds here. I'm going to select all these studies that I want to run the study over. And if I go to the information here, it'll tell me what my information was for my study that I ran. It pulls all this data in. So I've got a required field of 35.58 for these, so I'll put that here. And the different study operations, you can do maximum, so it'll determine where you are above threshold for all of these, and which site contributes. So this would be maximum. Composite. The coloration here shows which points cover which area, and then there's also areas out here that are below 35.58 where you're not served at all. So this is the coloration according to these. So now if I click Exit Load in Mapper, this shapefile will be loaded in Mapper. You can view it there. Other operations include Best Server, which does a maximum, but also has a capture server, capture margin 3 dB, so it'll show you which areas are served, but also 3 dB above the next highest. Simulcast delay spread, you can define max simulcast delay spread as well as the launch delays for all the different sites. Adjacent channel interference, you can create a rejection spec. I won't go into that here. You can create a receiver rejection specification and treat the other studies as interferers. You do DDU ratio, which does an analysis of desired to undesired, which is an interference analysis, where you define one as the desired signal and the others as undesired. And then finally, you also have composite talkback. So I'm going to go ahead and load the max. I'll load in Mapper the maximum study that we already ran, and then we'll do a composite talkback. So for composite talkback, I select Castle Rock. These studies were all run over the same area, so it would be the same result no matter which of these I select as my points. Here I've got mobile facility name, ERP of 1 watt. We'll change this over to dBm. So if I wanted to say an indoor level, I can define it also dBm. And this one we say we add 20 dB to, or take away 20 dB penetration loss. I've got set up, you can set up as many mobiles as you want. You just got to keep the description to 10 characters or less. You define an ERP level for each one. You run it, and we'll call this composite talkback. So here's my composite talkback set up. Go to the map. This shows the result where you have the talkback. No talkback service here, and all the talkback, which area goes to which base station effectively. Let's exit and load in Mapper. You can view it in Mapper. I'm going to disable the other ones so we can see the results without the overlays. Here's my composite result. The different colors tell you which area is being served by which point. Let's darken this up a little bit, raise the opacity so we can see a little better. And then if I go to settings, if I want to see the labels for the individual sites, you switch, you can turn them all on. You can move around the labels for each one individually if you'd like. Click OK. And here's the result. Here's the site supporting each area. So Demo Castle Rock has this area here and this area. If I back off by one. Southwest Douglas has this area here, southeast, northeast, and then northwest has this coverage here. And that's your composite talkback coverage. To look at the talk out coverage, that was this, I believe this is the maximum one I ran here. Fairly similar. Now, if I want to see my overall level in terms of my dBu values being served for these areas, I can go here. And instead of switch my style, it's now set for unique value style, so it just shows which site's covering which area. I can switch that over to value range style, and I have dBu field written to my output. So I can add a level. It was 35.58 dBu as my coverage. Make this the green, this the red. Click OK. And now I'm viewing what my overall, where I have coverage, where I don't have coverage in a particular area. And I can create a heat map based off of dBu if I'd like to also show the heat map for the composite coverage. So I have both which base station is covering which area and how strong their signal is received at each point. Remember, we can go back to the information, layer info. Click here, click layer info, turn capture on, go to maximum, go dBu field, and select dBu field at each point, click OK, and as you move over it, it'll tell you what is serving which point, dBu field, latitude, longitude at each point. So hopefully this was helpful for the folks that are out there that are watching. This is a quick rundown of heat maps, of bounded tile studies, talkback, composite coverage, and composite talkback. And to all those joining in, happy tapping, and have a great one.